Peace, peace. Aisha, what's good?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, awesome. And yourself?
I am doing well. I'm off work tonight, so I saw this and hopped in.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. You should enjoy this. We're going to go ahead and get started right now.
All right.
Delano Gray, peace, God.
As I inhale my history smoke, I choke to keep my diary book from flipping the pages I wrote. My lifestyle's filled with sadness. I'm shedding tears for us ones in this genocidal madness. I'm shedding tears for myself. I gotta break up this monopoly before they take my health. Cause I've been walking on the dark side, the final chapter in the script, days and times of our lives. Trying to predict what comes next. Wondering why they trying to annihilate Generation X like we got the mark of the beast. See, all men are extinct, we the government's feast. Just take a look in the pens. Yeah, day out and day in, we either smile or we grin. Cause if we didn't, we'd be crying. See, after people lose hope, the next step is start dying. Plus all the lies we done heard. Yeah, it's absurd, slavery in 214's being served. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Oh God, extend your hand out my body and free us before we wiped out completely. They trying to keep me, that's why I'm seeking for your deacon. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but I will fear no evil till they put me to rest.
So many tears I've cried. I thought I wasn't gonna survive, but I survived. Many tears I've cried.
I heard a story about black men in the pen, but I'd like to hear a story where a black man wins. Like how we getting chased by the cops. They tried to knock us, but we got away, they couldn't stop us. The government, they trying to block us. They build penitentiaries to take control, to adopt us. So now my body's feeling nauseous. I gotta make it by myself, I can't depend on the black caucus. I guess I gotta move with caution. Stop flossing, support my wife and child and make it awesome. What my own people say arrest them. They shake us down in our hood, sticking plungers in our rectums. And then you wonder why we test them. Looking at Rodney King, it's us against them, no protection. Now they got our sisters on lockdown with some crazy guards guarding them, that's why they getting raped now. Just take a look at where they at. Most of them dykes cause the system got them twisted like that. And what about the sisters on the streets? They got the population scared cause they melanin is blood deep. Well, can you peep what I speak? We are experimental lab rats tested by friends. Makes me afraid to drop my seed. Hoping my child don't bleed and my genes don't impede on my woman's ovaries. Well, while I'm down on my deathbed, I hope you're looking over me. The game of life can drive a black man insane. So many tears shed, so much pain.
So many tears I cried. I thought I wasn't gonna survive, but I survived. Many tears I cried. I survived. I survived.
Peace, prosperity, salutations. You're now rocking with the brand. This is real life, real talk. This is the Mastermind Alliance. And I'm getting on a couple of minutes late because I had a little variation in my schedule a little bit, but we are here. I actually, because I'm going live tomorrow for on the Wake Up Radio, I was debating on whether I was going to get on or not, and I decided that this subject is definitely important enough to where it warrants in-depth discussion and dialogue. But before we get there, if this is your first time rocking with me, make sure that you go to the webpage, www.yurimakarama.com. Go there so that you can download my app, and you'll definitely want to get that app. Also, go to our Unity Walk webpage, www.theunitywalk.com, so that you can stay up to date on the Unity Walks that are taking place around the country. Our next one will be Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's this month. That's our National Unity Walk event, and that's taking place between July 22nd and the 25th. So if you are in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, or if you're in the Oklahoma area, period, take that trip, come down, meet us. I would love to meet you. If you're coming from out of state, would definitely love to meet you. This is going to be, like I said, 3-4 day event, 3-day event. So, yeah. Black only. I see you over there. We know you as Black Lava Spice over here. Appreciate you, Empress. And also, just an announcement for the IG family. Because of the matrix that we're tied into, and kind of because of the war that we're in, and just kind of because of some of the things that they've done to me in my tenure on social media. So this is for the IG family. You see that? You see that there? That icon there? Yeah, that's called new media. So, wait. And then you see this one here? That's my app. That's the Yurima Karama app right there. Okay. So you see the video pops up. First video that pops up was my latest with the Empress Stephanie. So then this one over here, this new media. Yeah. Pop that icon open. That's new media TV. Yeah, so until OTW Tube goes live, that's where I'm going to be streaming from here on out. And I believe that the page was open earlier and it was free. There is a cost for that app, but it is Black owned. As a matter of fact, the brother that created that app created my app. So it's Black owned. And more importantly is that I can say whatever the fuck I want to say over there and I will never get blocked. That's more importantly, this is being able to speak truth to power and not having to get 30-day bans, treated like you're a child and all of that. As these Black sites open, as our Aboriginal family creates sites for us, that's where I'm motivating to, especially when the functionality is going to do. Especially when the functionality is going to do what I need it to do. And that's basically hit a button, make sure this shit ain't talking in Chinese, and I'm able to continue to disseminate information. I'll still be over here on Clubhouse, but as far as like Facebook, IG, as long as there's a Black site that can do what these sites are doing, I'm going to be on that site. And so, it's your choice. There's a lot of people on Facebook who, unfortunately, they refuse to leave Facebook. They won't leave. They'll wait 30 days until I get back on. I think it's the most craziest thing. Like some of them won't go to my app or anything. So that's on them. That just lets me know that they're caught in the matrix and that they really view Yurima Karama as entertainment. And I mean, hey, that's fine. That's fine. But when it's time to motivate, see, in times of war, warriors are going to do what's necessary in times of war. And we're not going to play games with that. So I'm going to be over on new media. That's where I'll be streaming live. There will be it does allow for notifications to let you know when I'm going live. I can also notify you via my app when I'm going live as well. If you're locked into the app. If you're not, your loss. Sorry. And in this day and time, information is going to be very important. I'm telling you, because your enemies are going to be giving you a certain amount of information, and then us truth tellers are going to be giving the real information. And so the choice is yours. I get it. Sometimes you got to stay stuck in that matrix and get your ass kicked a few times until you really figure out that, oh, damn, these crackers are still lying to my black ass and trying to keep me stuck in the matrix. So that's where I'm going to be, new media. And I will let you know. I might go live here a couple more times, and then that's it. I'm going to be over there. I won't be going live here anymore, except on Clubhouse. So with that said, melanin extraction. Let's start this off the proper way, and then I want to talk about some of the stats and go from there. Let's start off with the late great Dr. Layla Africa, as he speaks on melanin. We are different.
I appreciate the introduction. This evening we're going to talk about something called melanin. It's what everyone is concerned about in the world. It's what they have a meeting about every 3 to 5 years. Germany, Italy, France, the U.S., they meet every 3 to 5 years and have a melanin convention and discuss the latest research in melanin. They have never invited a black scientist to that meeting in history. So we've had our own melanin conferences where we discuss this information involving melanin. Melanin is commonly associated with the pigment that causes your skin to be brown. So we figure that that's what melanin is about. But it's a little more than just the pigment that makes your skin brown. It's what we call a chemical key to life. The more melanin you have, the more civilized you are. The more melanin you have, the more psychic you are. The more melanin you have, the more information your brain can store. The more melanin you have, the faster the nerve transmissions are. The more melanin you have, the more sound you absorb in your ear, so you hear the full range of sound. No other race can do that. The more melanin you have, the more color you can absorb in your eyes. That's why your eyes are brown. You actually see the full color. You see this color where white folks see a paler tan, because the more melanin you have, the more you can see what God has meant for you to see. The more melanin you have in your taste buds, the more you can taste the full flavor of the food. No other race can taste an apple like you can, because they can't absorb the full flavor, because you need melanin to absorb the full flavor of food. That's why we combine food differently from other races, because we actually can taste the food. That's because of the high amount of melanin we have, which we sometimes take for granted. Melanin is the chemical key to life. There is nothing else to study in science but melanin. We call it chemi, which means black. The people who study melanin particles call what they're studying, the sciences call chemistry, what you call chemistry, the study of melanin particles that go around in an orbit, and we call them electrons, protons, solitons. Those are melanin particles. That's why we call it chemistry. And the country you come from is called Kemet, which some people call Egypt. There is nothing else to study but melanin. And if you study chemistry or heard of chemistry and haven't heard the word melanin, you have just been studying social science. You go into a classroom and you call it biology, but biology is the way melanin controls the cell. And we call that little melanin sitting in the cell the new sun, the nucleus. The new sun radiates information and tells the cell how to operate, how to think, how to digest. That's melanin. Biology is the study of melanin and how it communicates. There's nothing else to study if you're going into the living sciences. Melanin plays a part in your historical memory. The more melanin you have, the more you're connected to your ancestors. You can pull on thoughts that you didn't even know were there, because the melanin gives you ancestral memory. That's based on melanin. That's how we classify races, based on their melanin content. It's not the quality of melanin in your skin we're talking about. Doesn't mean a light-skinned brother is less black than you are. We're talking about the melanin produced inside their body by the pineal gland. That's the melanin we measure. Every living thing has to have melanin. White people have it, but they have a lesser amount. And their melanin is different from your melanin. Their melanin has sulfur in the middle, and your melanin has selenium in the middle. They're two different types of melanin that could not biologically come down the same tree. That's physiologically impossible for a white person to evolve from a black person. It's two different melanins. That's why every scientist says the theory of evolution. We never say it's a fact. Never. We say it's the theory of evolution. It's not a fact. Theories are something you need to just get through the day. I have a theory that I'm going to be a millionaire. It helps me get through a day. But I don't know. I know it's not real. It's just a theory. And we use theories just to get through information in science. It just helps us to focus stuff. We know they're not facts, so we never say the fact of evolution. It's a theory. It helps us focus our information, get through some research. That's all. And when we finish with the theory, we throw it away. But you pick it up and think it's a real thing. This is really a fact. No, it is not. This stuff we make to get through the day, keep us focused. The theory of evolution, the theory of the speed of light, the theory of gravity, the theory of this and that. They're all theories. Can't prove none of it. Theories. Listen, you know many of them, but you know few facts. And we're talking about the fact of melanin. We're not talking about theories right now. We know more about theories about science than we know about science. We'll say a theory. What comes around goes around. That's a theory. What goes up must come down. That light's up there. Why don't it fall down on the ground? You say, well, if it goes up must come down. Why don't that light fall down? What are you talking about? What goes up doesn't have to come down. It's just a theory.
So I want to, the nature of this topic is the extraction, the extraction of melanin. Before I go there, before we talk about the extraction, because you need to know how important melanin is. And I know many already do, but some might not know. And the reason I know that some might not know is I look at our actions today, and it shows that they don't know how powerful that they are as people. So I know that there's not even some that might not know. There's many that actually don't fucking know the power of melanin. They don't know the power that resides in them. So we're going to start this off first by tapping into the fact that, let me see here. We're going to start this off by tapping into the fact that more black children go missing at a higher rate than white children. This story comes from CNN. More black children go missing at a higher rate than white children. Here's why we don't hear about them. And we already know why we don't hear about them. Because it's the system of white racism. I don't have to go into the story of why we don't hear about them. The fact of the matter is that more melanated Aboriginal children go missing every year than white children, and we don't hear about them. But every time there's a fucking Amber Alert, you got a white Peckerwood child on there. So that's one. Let's start there. Next. And the number keeps going up. 2 years ago, I did this story. More than 75,000 black women missing. Just gone, vanished. This is a big planet, but it ain't that goddamn big. And when you take it in context, just overall children, 8 million children go missing every year. 8 million around the planet. 8 million. But that's all children. So, but we're just sticking to, because I care about only melanated Aboriginal children. I care about only melanated Aboriginal black women. Only. Can't worry about somebody else's burning house. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, I'm fucking really not sorry. I don't even know why I put that preface sorry on there, because I'm really not. My heart doesn't speak sorry for any other group but my own. So 75,000 goddesses go missing every year. What's this? So we want to start there. And black men go missing too. Black men go missing. Let's not get that messed up. Black men do go missing as well. But I wanted to start it with the children and the women just go missing. And it ain't no screaming about it. It ain't no marching about it. People ain't brandishing banners talking about where are the 75,000 missing black women. People aren't brandishing banisters talking about why at least 2,500 black children go missing every year just in the DMV area alone. 2,500. Number's been consistent for years. No news stories about it. Nothing. Just children coming up missing. Just black women coming up missing. I did the story. I was out in an event last night, and a brother who I hadn't seen in years, I came in and people were, oh man, yeah. And so this brother, he pulls up, man, it's been years since I seen you. And I was like, yeah, it's been about 3 or 4 years. And he pulled me to the side. He said, bro, he said, I was in South Carolina. And he said, a video that you had done came up viral. He said, you were giving some tips on protections, and you were talking about these white vans. And I said, yeah. And he said, I was trying to tell people, like, I know this brother. Like, I know, like, we've shared stages before together, and they, nigga, you don't know him. Stop playing around. And he was like, he said, I mean, it was just crazy that they wouldn't think that I know you, he said, but that video was, he said it was so necessary. In the video I did, some of you, I'm sure, saw it, where I was pointing out the white vans and how these white vans just flow frequently through black communities, and nobody's questioning. They don't have windows on them or anything. And then the front windows are all tinted. And they're just, at one point, they were just riding through black communities around the country just freely. And then it wasn't just white. Then they started changing to blue and black. But then we come to find out that within these vans that they have sealed them off with steel, made them soundproof so you can't hear people screaming. Yeah, these vans were used to snatch people. Yeah. So again, 75,000 black women, and the majority of children coming up missing are Aboriginal black children. So now, in 1920, an English biochemist details how to extract melanin from black people. William John Young, an English biochemist, wrote a report in 1920 titled The Extraction of Melanin from the Skin with Dilute Alkali, where he details step by step how to extract melanin from black people. The extraction of melanin from skin with dilute alkali by William John Young, the Australian. Another Australian bitch motherfucker. Remember what the Australians did to the Aboriginals in Australia. Yeah. By William John Young, the Australian Institute of Tropical Medicine, Townsville in Queensland. Received December 23rd, 1920. And I'll turn it around for the... Yeah. Yeah. See, the thing is with these rooms that I hate, the one thing I hate about these rooms that I run, it's never the right people that need to be in the rooms. Like you all are in the room, but you all know most of this information. It's them bitch made niggas, man, that's out here fucking us off. See, Juvie and fucking that bitch ass other nigga that he was doing the vax that ass up with. They need to be in this room right now. Them is the bitch niggas that need to be in the room. The ones out here that keep exploiting black women and thinking the shit's cool. Them is the bitch niggas that need to be in the room. It's never the right people that need to be in the fucking room. Shit ticks me off. But anyway, if this knowledge was available and put into use in the 1920s, how much more sophisticated is the melanin extraction process now? It was found that if the skin were soaked in boiling water, these devils, man, and by the way, if you've read Medical Apartheid, then you know that boiling water, that was one of the remedies that they had for, I think it was chicken pox or something. Just pour boiling hot water on brothers and sisters, and that's the remedy. I think it was chicken pox or something like that. That was one of the remedies. Boil some water and fucking pour it over their body. Like, these devils is just, and people still got the nerve to trust them and be having motherfucking videos with white boys twerking and coming up behind sisters and grinding on them. These bitch made niggas, they need to all go. They need to all go. They lucky I ain't in full power, because all of they motherfucking asses would be wiped off the planet Earth. But it was found that if the skin were soaked in boiling water, the outer layer, which contained practically all of the pigment, could be readily removed by scraping. This layer, 200G, was washed with alcohol and ether to remove grease and was boiled with 100C of N//20 sodium hydroxide for 1 hour under a reflux condenser. It was allowed to settle in the dark liquid, decanted and filtered. The process was repeated with successive portions of fresh alkali until after 4 extractions, there was only a very small residue. To the 4 clear filtrates, after cooling, hydrochloric acid was added to about N/3, whereby the melanin was thrown down as a dark brown precipitate. It was allowed to settle, the liquid siphoned off, and the precipitate repeatedly washed by decantation with N/C with N/3 hydrochloric acid. The clear washings were siphoned off as much as possible, and water and hydrochloric acid added to make the liquid to 500C of N/20 hydrochloric acid. The mixture was then heated to boiling. The precipitates from the first 2 extracts completely dissolved to a deep brown solution. That from the 3rd extract was only partially soluble, whilst the 4th precipitate did not appear to dissolve at all. The solutions were filtered through a fine filter paper, and the first 3 solutions mixed. In this way, the pigment was separated into 2 fractions, one soluble, the other insoluble, in dilute hydrochloric acid. The solution in hydrochloric acid was cooled, and concentrated acid added. The solution in hydrochloric acid was cooled and concentrated acid added until the mixture was N/3. The melanin was thereby precipitated and was allowed to settle. The liquid siphoned off and the residue washed several times by decantation with hydrochloric acid of the same strength. The process of dissolving N/20 acid, filtering and precipitating was repeated once. The pigment was then again dissolved in the dilute hydrochloric acid, and the solution dialyzed until the liquid no longer gave a precipitate with silver nitrate. This treatment precipitated the pigment, which was then filtered on a hardened paper, washed and with distilled water, then with alcohol, finally with ether, and dried. The paper was folded and extracted in a soxhlet apparatus successfully with carbon disulfide, light petroleum ether, and was dried at 100 degrees. It was thus obtained as a black powder and will be referred to as acid soluble melanin. Before being dried, the powder was readily soluble in dilute N/20 sodium hydroxide and in glacial acetic and concentrated sulfuric acids. It dissolved on warming in dilute hydrochloric and acetic acids. After drying at 100 degrees, it dissolved only with difficulty in boiling dilute alkali, more readily in stronger alkali, and was almost insoluble in dilute hydrochloric acid. The pigment from the later extractions of the skin, which was insoluble in dilute acid, was also purified by treatment on the filter paper repeatedly with boiling N/20 hydrochloric acid. It was then washed repeatedly with water and subsequently dissolved in warm sodium hydroxide. The melanin was precipitated by adding hydrochloric acid in slight excess, washed by decantation until free from acid, filtered and washed with alcohol and ether, and extracted as before with carbon disulfide, light petroleum and ether, and dried at 100 degrees. This powder, after drying, dissolved completely but only very slowly in boiling alkalis. In the above manner, both acid-soluble and acid-insoluble preparations were obtained from the three skins. God damn. Wow. Some niggas was just out here trying to mix fucking baking soda and with some goddamn cocaine. These motherfuckers is peeling people's skins and shit, extracting the melanin from the skin. God damn. Let's continue. Let's continue. I'll have to move this a bit. Okay, so in 1920, okay, we already went through that. The United States military is fully aware of extraordinary benefits and potential of melanin. That's why they want to use it for military applications. The U.S. Army would evolve overnight if all of their current technologies were replaced with melanin-based technologies. The government has used melanin for military applications such as harvesting thermal energy for cold weather vehicles, creating melanin-based clothing coatings, dramatically improving EMP shielding capacity, dramatically improving radiation shielding capacity, creating melanin technologies that help reduce diseases. Changed in substance as if by alchemy. Melanin is what gives humanity, or rather humanity, our various shades of black and brown. Melanin absorbs light and vibration. Melanin is the cosmological constant in Einstein's theory of relativity. Melanin can be extracted from humans, animals, and nature. There are synthetic versions of melanin that can be produced in a laboratory, but these do not satisfy the aspiring government-funded technologists who seek to create the ultimate weapon or protection. We already went over that. Gold is currently worth $61.02, an increase in value of $11.93. That means melanin is worth $397.98 a gram more than gold. Interestingly, the dollar value of gold rose over $11 in 1 year. Gold increased in value more in 2020 than ever in 7 years since we first learned melanin is worth more than that. More than it. Nevertheless, we are relentlessly bombarded with how horrific 2020 was supposed to have been. Description: melanin is a biological polymer that possesses many desirable properties with clear Army applications in dampening radar signatures, EMP shielding, radiation protection, cold condition protection, energy storage, transduction, and an alternative circuit material. Naturally produced melanin absorbs energy in many different forms: UV, visible light, ionizing radiation, electromagnetic, binds toxic materials, metals, oxidizing agents, free radicals, and provides structural strength. The U.S. Army is using melanin for military applications, armor, weapons, and energy storage. The United States military is fully aware of the extraordinary benefits and potential of melanin, and that's why they want to use it for military applications. What is melanin? It is the most supreme biochemical in the universe. It is found in humans, plants, animals, and even in space. Melanin is primarily carbon. Melanin is transmutable, meaning capable of being changed in substance as if by alchemy. Melanin is what gives humanity, or rather humanity, our various shades of black and brown. Melanin absorbs light and vibration. Melanin is the cosmological constant in Einstein's theory of relativity. So, 75,000 missing black women. Not just 1 year. Black women come up missing every fucking year. More black children missing than any other group. Not just 1 year. Black children come up missing every fucking year. Every fucking day. I told you about the movie Dr. Sleep. There's two variables in there when we talked about missing children, but also the power of the black woman. Yeah. 75,000 missing black women. More black children missing than any other group. Melanin. More than gold on the fucking stock market. The floor is open.
Peace, God. Peace to the family. Peace, peace.
Peace.
Man, I'm over here fucking seething right now, man. I don't even, bro. This is the type of shit, man. Put me in a whole different frame of mind, bro. On some real shit, man. Just the detail, man. Like you know how much this shit had to be done to break it down like that to the fucking. Just every detail, every step on how to fucking, this shit really fucks with me, bro. I don't know about y'all, bro. This shit is wild, bro. The thing is, we've always been a commodity, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've always, like, our physical bodies has always been a commodity to them. You know what I mean? And you know, I've seen it in so many different ways. I seen a video today of a clip from the Steve Harvey show. And there was this Asian lady up there. She had some type of skin product that was supposed to do something, tighten up your skin or some shit like that. And she wipes it on Steve Harvey's hand. It's on, you know, this on his talk show. She wipes it on Steve Harvey in the palm of his hand. And he's like, "What is this? Why is it red?" And she's like, "Hold on, I'm about to tell you. And he's like, "Nah, why is this red? Like, what's going on with this?" She said, "It's made from human foreskins." And so.
Yeah.
What?
Foreskin, yeah, like, you know, a whole bunch of fucking circumcised foreskins, and then it makes you think about like why they circumcise motherfuckers in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, we what the fuck are we circumcising people for? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no point in that shit. We're not meant to be circumcised. You know what I mean? And so it's like they just create all of these scientific procedures and shit like that, all these fake surgical procedures, even just the idea of these hysterectomies and ovarian cysts and all this type of shit. Like, they create that shit just for the sake of being able to pull that shit out of us without consent, just so they can do shit like this, man. You boiling motherfucker's skin, and then you candid enough to type it out in a fucking textbook or whatever that was. It's like candidly they do this shit. Like, it's nothing. It's nothing. They was making fucking leather lazy boy recliners with our skin, yo. Leather full length trench coats of human leather skin, gloves and shit. These some insidious motherfuckers, yo. This is some evil ass shit we dealing with, man. Shit that wouldn't even cross our minds. How do you think to do some shit like this? Like how do you think, like I think about like how certain sciences are derived, like, you know, I think about our ancestors over the course of, you know, millions of years. You know, we mapping out the stars and we do certain things, and you know, like, you know, all the different herbs that we use and all the different aspects of nature that we've perfected and know how to utilize it to better our life, for us to better harmonize with nature. How do they put that much brain power into this type of shit? Like, you got to be a low down motherfucker, yo. And the more I see, like, day to day, it's like, I don't even understand. I don't know how to exist in reality, in this reality, and just be cool, like, and just be cool with shit, man. I really don't. Like, I need help with that shit. I don't understand how the fuck we supposed to just operate like this shit is like it's just normal out here, knowing that this shit is going on. You mentioned the DMV area, all these girls coming up missing and shit. Everybody in DC know that shit, man. Everybody here knows that girls come up missing, but you still see young girls walking around by their damn self. Matter of fact, today, I had pulled up to this gas station or whatever, and it was like 3 girls. They was probably like 14 or 13 and under. Maybe between like 10 and 13 or so. And a couple of young dudes around the same age or whatever, and one of them walked in the store around the same time I did. And as I walked in the store, she's just staring at me. And I looked at her and she was like, yeah, I got X pills, such and such and such and such, like running down a list of shit that she was selling. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what type of baby-ass kid ass fucking, this shit was weird, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, even though everybody here knows what's going on, niggas is too fucking ignorant to even, you know, to even supervise their own children, man. They just found the 2-year-old babies. I forget who sent this to me. Matter of fact, Janae, she in the audience right now. She sent me the clip. I mean, a picture. Article saying that they found a 2-year-old just walking around by themselves. And, you know, if you got any information where the parents is at, you know, call the police. How the fuck is it a 2-year-old walking around by themselves, man, in this unmarked van and shit outside? We don't even give a fuck about our own kids enough. And they boiling skin off their fucking, come on, man. We just drive by, you know, our loved ones die, we just pass them to the funeral home, whatever the fuck they do back then, you go ahead, you know, handle your business. But you see how morticians do, how they take all the organs out and they put them in bags. They put them shits in bags. Where do you think them bags go? They do not just throw them shits out. I remember an episode of the Kardashians. I seen a clip from the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, how they eat the placentas and shit like that. I mean, like some evil, real vampire shit, like some real evil ass shit, man. If you ain't got no righteous anger behind this shit, then fuck you, yo. Like, if this shit don't make your blood boil, make you want to get up and do something right now, there's something wrong with your motherfucking thing. You happy? Is you happy, yo? And we saw, like, god damn, dog. Matter of fact, that's the thing, they put it in the movies and shit, and these shows, and you can see what the fuck going on, man. And they're not doing it, like, a lot of these shows ain't even geared towards us. This is not even for us to see necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crackers that watch the shit, I think it's the show Handmaid's Tale. I think it's the show Handmaid's Tale. There was a scene where, I could be wrong, but it was a scene where the old lady had like some type of little makeup kit or some shit like that, and she was like rubbing it on her face, and there's like blood and shit, and it was like afterbirth or some shit like that. Like she rubbed afterbirth on her face and shit to make her age backwards type shit. You know what I mean? You know, and I mean, we talk about the babies and shit that come up missing, but even the ones that don't, like, they do shit without consent too. You know, when you have a child, you know, all that amniotic fluid, you know, and the placenta and everything that comes out, man, they catch that shit in a bowl, man. They catch that shit in a bowl, yo, so they can put it in the shampoo, and you know, they be aborted fetuses and all that shit. It's really wild, man. It's really wild, yo. And I'm having a hard time, man, trying to peacefully exist in this reality. It's like, how the fuck, you know, I want to be peace and light. I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to vibe. Like, we supposed to be out here vibing, man. This is our fucking planet. We supposed to be out here chilling. Our only obligation as human beings is to kick up underneath a palm tree What Pride said, I said 90 degrees underneath palm trees. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to be cooling out. But we got to worry about shit like this, man. The most wild, the most evil shit is happening right in front of our eyes. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like to be negative. I be feeling helpless as fuck, man. Because I got too much warrior in me to just watch this shit happen. But I'm just one man. You know? So I mean, yeah, I'm gonna pass the mic at this point, man. I'm emotional, man. I'm emotional on some real shit. I don't like it.
I feel you, guys.
I think Aisha was finna, whoever, y'all got it.
Just a second, real quick. Then Aisha, you go. A couple of things. So, one, because I'm really in a mood tonight. Please, anybody that speaks, let them finish their thought. Please don't cut them off. I need to hear it all. Please don't interrupt. Let them finish. Everybody's going to get their chance to speak. Just let them finish. Please don't interrupt. That should be irritating sometimes. The other thing is this, is keep in mind, I mean, we're having this conversation about melanin, but I'm from New York. Back in the day, it was nothing to go by and see. And I know Wealth and Conscious and K-Ream, you can probably attest to this as well as some of the people in the audience. You'd be on the highway and cross Bronx Expressway, and you'll see a car on the side of the road. That motherfucker ain't got no wheels. It ain't got no doors on it. The trunk has been taken out. This shit is stripped completely. It's just a shell of a car. You know, the engine might be gone for all we know. That motherfucker might be taken out. That's what these motherfuckers been doing with our bodies, man. It's not just the melanin. These motherfuckers is like using our bodies like car parts. They're extracting organs. So this is just one facet of that shit. When we talk about all the black women who are giving up their fucking uteruses to these devils, man. For a cracker doctor to come in and tell them that they need to give up their uterus. And they go for that shit. Stop their productive cycle. And they've been doing it. We trust these devils too much, man. We trust them too fucking much. And although we are supposed to be, when we talk about the Kabbalion, bro, the fucking pendulum swings both ways, man. It swings to the light and it swings to the fucking dark, man. And that dark, it swings that way because that's the balance of life. That's the balance of life. There is birth and then there is death. That's the balance of life. It can't just all be birth. It can't just all be death. The balance of life says that there is birth and there is death. The lion says that because I'm hungry, the gazelle, you got to get eaten. I wouldn't kill you if I wasn't hungry, but I'm hungry. And guess what? The balance of life, the gazelle knows that. The gazelle knows that he's got to be the sacrificial lamb because it's the balance of life. We've been the fucking sacrificial lamb too long, man. It's time to be lions, man. Real shit. Aisha, you're up.
Peace, y'all. How y'all doing this evening? You remember you made a really good point earlier when you were saying like the people who actually need to be here are not here, and talking about that whole juvie thing with that vaccine thing up. Like, I'm still so disgusted by that. But it's almost like people don't remember or realize the things that these people are capable of, but yet they want to push their agendas onto you. Meaning, oh, well, you need to get this vaccine, you need to do that. And the reason why I'm even bringing that up is because I'm going through that right now in my own personal life with people like my family members coming at me like, hey, what's wrong with you? Why are you not doing it? And you gonna die? And just all types of crazy stuff. And it's like, y'all really just believe that these folks have your best interest at heart. They just came up with this vaccine that's not even FDA approved in about 4 seconds and was like, yeah, take this and you'll be fine. Like, and nobody sees nothing wrong with that. But if somebody actually wants to have a critical thinking moment and decide for themselves that they don't want to do this because the shit just don't look right, it don't feel right and it ain't right, they're wrong. And you know what I'm saying, you wanna do all this stuff. And also to what you said about them taking your uteruses, I had my GYN tell me when I was 27 years old that I should get a hysterectomy, and I looked at that lady like she was freaking crazy, and she said it like it was just like, yeah, that's what you need to do. And I'm not going to try to help you discover what the actual issue is, or let's get down to what this cure is, because of course they're not looking for cures for you. We're just going to go ahead and take everything out, and then that's just what it's going to be. And I was like, yeah, this is crazy. Like, even just from as a woman coming up, we're subjected to these gynecological exams at an early age, especially if you're sexually active, and they just do all manner of things. They try to prescribe you medications that are tearing your body down, that aren't actually addressing the real issue of what's going on within your womb. And then, at the end of the day, when everything is said and done, they want to take it from you after they've destroyed it practically. I've seen girls as young as 17 years old lay up and have cesarean sections, at 17 years old. And then, of course, they're taking the placentas, and now they've put you at a disadvantage, because if you try to have any more kids after that, that's the only way you're going to be able to birth at that point. Most doctors won't even take the time to let you push, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like Dee was saying, the shit is just like, it's enraging and it's frustrating, and it's sad, because a lot of times, instead of us doing the research and taking time to actually find out what's going on, we just allow this shit to happen. Like, I can't count how many times people would come in there with like bags of medicine and all types of procedures that they'd have had, and I'm like, well, what is this actual medication for? And they tell me they don't know. So you just tell me that you go in this room with this man or this woman, and they say some foolishness to you, write you a prescription for something that you don't even know what you're putting in your body, and that's just what we're going to keep doing. So it's almost like, even if you do present the information to people, they still don't want to believe it. They still want to believe that this organization, this corporation, has your best interest at heart, and that this is what is best for you. They'll tell you that disease run in your family. Disease don't run in your family, but food and bad choices do. So, I just wanted to say that, but I'm gonna go ahead and release the mic. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank you, Empress. Wealth. It's good.
Yeah, that's real. I wanted to say too, man. All these different things that still exist right now that show you like what they used to do to us, like all these little trinkets and fucking like if you look up some of these old like logos for some of the companies that still exist now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, old postcards and all this type of shit, like the way that they used to use our babies for alligator bait, like most of us know about that.
Yeah.
But they used to use that as like logos for all these different companies and shit. Like, it's like a letter holder of like an alligator, and the pen comes out of it, and it's like a little black baby. You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as that. Like, just little shit. Like they like boot polish would be called Tar Baby or some shit like that, and it had like a little black person on it. And all the minstrel shows and all that type of shit that used to go on, and it's like it's so much momentum already. This shit is so big. Like, it's so fucking major. This machine has been fed for a long ass time. Like, this motherfucker is alive and well, and it's been here for a very long time. And I'm like, okay, little old us who get this shit and who really about some shit, man. We are going against an entire system of a medical apartheid. We're going against an entire system of government, an entire system of military. You know what I mean? And so, like the only real, like, daily decision that we can make is to protect ourselves by the decisions that we make in terms of, like what Aisha was saying, with our diets, and, you know, what we allow our children to be exposed to, and, you know, what we allow them to do. And that's a day-to-day fight that we don't have a choice but to embark on. But again, it's day to day, like day by day by day by day. Like, how important is it for us to really stay focused? You know what I mean? And like, what the fuck are we doing out here? What are we doing out here?
Well, there's things that can be done. Those things can't be talked about publicly, but there's things.
No, I'm just saying we need masses to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
there's things that can be done, but people aren't going to do it because there's a comfortability in slavery, and we're dealing with a very comfortable group of people. So therein lies the problem. Wealth, you're up.
Peace, family. Peace.
Peace, God.
Peace, God. Peace, brother.
Yes. Pardon me for, if I'm a little low energy tonight. I was traveling, so I'm in North Carolina right now. But, yeah, this topic, I saw that. I saw the thing earlier yesterday that you played doing, and everything that's in mythology or fiction, what we consider fiction, is based on some type of truth. And for years you see, the white man's obsession with vampire movies and shit like that. And when you look at the attributes of the vampire,
Candace,
I mean,
Alethea, I see you guys.
That's dumb. That's dumb. And of course, a lot of it is over-exaggerated, but look at the vampire. The vampire can't come into the sun if not it gets burned. The vampire is allergic to all things spiritual. The vampire also need the big, strong werewolves to protect them while the sun is out. Like, and also, what's one of the things that the vampire uses to kill his prey? They'll hypnotize you with their words. Right? So they've been telling, and the vampire got to feed off you. If not, they die. Parasite. And the easiest way to kill a parasite is to remove them from the host. Because they can't survive on them. I'm not surprised. If anybody's surprised, I gotta ask you the question, where have you been? You know what I mean? Where have you been? What have you been doing? But you don't realize that this enemy has always been this way. Our natures aren't the same. Absolutely not the same. And when it comes to being peaceful, don't get me wrong, I love peace, but I understand that sometimes you got to win peace through war. And I accept that. And I think a lot of times we just have a hard time in the acceptance part. We keep looking for a non-combative way to achieve peace, and that's not realistic, especially when you're under attack. So I mean, nothing that this enemy does surprises me anymore. Because I understand the nature of the enemy. And the sooner we understand the nature of the enemy, then we stop trying to come to some kind of compromise. There is no compromise. The light don't compromise with the darkness. There is no compromise. And there's no other way to put it. But I'm glad that this information is being put out, because it's all necessary to help snap our people out of this hypnosis they've been put on. Because there's only so much information to prove the nature of the enemy that you're going to see before you can't deny it. You can't live in that state of denial no more. Either you're going to choose to be one of their protectors, or you're going to choose to be the one that put the stake in them. And that's really all I got to say right now.
Well said, Wealth. Real talk.
Yeah, appreciate that, Wealth. Conscious, what's good?
Peace, family. Peace to the room. Peace, D. Peace, Rayma. Peace,
Peace, God. Peace, God.
Green, Kim. Peace. But yeah, this is the rabbit hole goes deep. When it comes to melanin and how they've been extracting from us and doing all types of things, and the heinous crimes that's been committed against us. The rabbit hole goes deep. To the point about women going to the gynecologist and putting their trust in the system. That's one of my biggest things I touch on. Women hate to hear it, but putting your trust in doctors that you don't know, that don't know you. I think that's absurd. The whole procedure is for, when you go to the hospital, it's a time run. It's like they try to get you in and out. That's the whole thing. So there's no care in the healthcare system that America, offers, period. Everything is about money. The fact that they have you laying on your back to give birth when, quote unquote, the force of gravity pulls things down. It's just, it just doesn't make sense. It's just not common sense. You should be squatting, just like how you poop. But they have us hypnotized, as both said, because I do believe it's a parasitic relationship, like leeches, and we seem to not understand that. We seem to take it for granted because of the mirage or the illusion they put on with the television, all the stuff they put on TV. Our families for years and for generations have been hypnotized into wanting to aspire to be like. And, for generations we've been passing that down. And, it's just up to us to redirect our energy. And like I always say, the best, like D said, Wealth said, like he said, the best way to stop a leech is to, disassociate it from the host, right? So I always say, the best thing to do is to stop, literally just stop everything, stop participating in that system. If how much ever number of, they can bring in immigrants, whatever they want to do, but if the black community stops participating, that's a tremendous blow towards the system, because we're like the oil. If you take the oil out of a car and you turn on that engine, that car is done. You season that engine. You got to get a whole new engine. So, Yeah, they might use Latinos or whatever the case, but let them do that. It's time for us to build collectively. And that's where our power lies. We're talking about that melanin. That melanin is what they're keeping us, away from. Like, I've literally been starting to buy this shea butter with 24 karat gold in it. This all ties back into melanin. I buy a shea butter with 24 karat gold in it because gold is it conducts electricity, right? And I feel something's been telling me, my soul, my spirit's been telling me, rub the gold on your skin, rub it in your skin because your skin is the biggest organ, and we got so all these minerals to keep the melanin electrified and alkaline. Like, we gotta really alkaline our bodies and cleanse our minds, because from birth, like I said, my pineal gland has always been, I can make it better. There's always room for improvement. However, I know that they've been trying to dumb us down from a long time ago. For example, with the foods, I used to eat a lot of shellfish when I was younger because that's what my mom cooked, and that was around. And as I got into a certain age, I became allergic all of a sudden. Like, I couldn't eat it. My body just started to reject it. And when I hit puberty, let's say, when I hit 13, 14, I couldn't eat it anymore. My body started to reject it. Now that I'm in my 30s, right, when I drink, if I was to drink, because, going through your teen years, when I drink, my feet hurt. Like my body's rejecting it. I can't drink alcohol. So alcohol is off the list. So it's just a whole bunch of poisons out there that they put out there that destroys the melanin, that destroys us. And we gotta really be conscious of everything we do. We're natural beings. And we gotta just get back in tune with nature. Everything that we do and everything that entails has to be natural, not processed, but all natural. And once we get back in control of our land and back in control of at least our minds, then we can do what it is that we're meant to do and really fulfill our purpose, and not the purpose of getting a career and all of that hoopla, because that's the illusion that they built for us, that American dream, or that's the biggest illusion known to man. But I'm gonna leave it there because I could go on for days, and I'm gonna lead a mic up, so I yield the floor. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace, God. Thank you. Did you have something, Aisha?
No, go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, I gotta say this, right? I gotta say this because my spirit just says it. If we look at the history, and we have documented history, with our being in close proximity to these Europeans. And so I think that there comes a point where people really just have to be honest with themselves. The honest shit is that Christopher Dorner, Micah X, and a few others did what was necessary. Let's be honest about that. Let's be honest about the fact that we can sit back, we can drink all the alkaline water that we need, we can put on shea butter, we can eat all the berries and fruits that we need. When we were trying not to fuck with these people, they came and fucked with us. That's just the honest truth. It's not like we're going to be able to sit back and not do anything and just eat healthy and live healthy, and they're not going to fuck with us, because it's not in their nature to not fuck with us. That's just in their nature. Them motherfuckers went and had a meeting to chop up all of Akebulon. The most peaceful people on the planet. They decided to go in and fucking chop that shit up, man. And so at the end of the day, there's going to have to come a point where motherfuckers just acknowledge that there's going to have to be a fight. We can try to extract ourselves from the system as much as possible. That shit sounds good. It sounds sweet. It's a sexy story. If I'm writing the movie, it's a sexy story. If I'm the fucking script writer for that. But the reality is that we're dealing with a demonic force that ain't. It's basically it's like asking the devil, look, I'm not bothering you, don't bother me. It's not in the fucking devil's nature not to bother you. It's not. As a matter of fact, the more fucking peaceful you are, the more the devil's going to fuck with you, because the more the devil wants to disturb that peace. And that can be on an individual level or it can be on a fucking group level. It doesn't matter. They're programmed to go. They're programmed for war. That's how their mental makeup is that's how they're programmed. They're programmed to go. And so until we're programmed to go, because it's survival now, these people is fucking stealing organs and goddamn melanin out of our bodies, man. There's not 75, and that's why I started this like I did. There's not 75,000 black women missing for nothing. The majority of black children go missing. They're not missing for nothing. They're somewhere. Their organs are missing. Their melanin is missing. Fucking body parts are missing. Goddamn uteruses are being extracted. So there's got to come a point where we realize that you can go to Mexico, Cancun, and try to get away. You can try to fucking be like Osama bin Laden and go fucking hide in some mountain in the region of goddamn Afghanistan. It doesn't matter. They'll drop a bomb on that shit. So we have to get to a point, man, where you fight or you die. And all the shit in between there, yeah, we should be eating healthy. Very important. Very important. You got to eat healthy so that you can continue to fight. Because you have to be in tip-top condition. So you have to eat healthy. You have to take care of your spirituality because you need the ancestors. But if there's any time in history, the ancestors are rocking with us right now more than any time. We see the shift taking place. But that ain't stopping the devil. That ain't stopping the devil, because the devil says, oh shit, shift taking place. I'm dying off faster. They're rising. Let me take as many of these motherfuckers with me as I can before I go. Most of our resolve is, and this is real shit. People can be mad at me all the fuck they want, but most of our resolve is let me just make sure they don't get me. And that ain't no resolve, man. That ain't no resolve, because guess what? Guess what? If everybody on the planet right now got the business and it was just us in this room, if all the Europeans, the coons, the fucking bootlickers, these bitch-ass sellouts, these bed wenches, these bed bucks, if they was all fucking gone right now and it was just the righteous in this room right now, we still gotta fucking account for all those deaths up to this point. Because there were some righteous brothers and sisters that got it. Corrine Gaines was on her shit. She shouldn't be gone. Sandra shouldn't be gone. We still got to account for them, man. K-Rain.
Wow. Good night, fam. Reem, I think you just said what I, what's been on my mind. Dr. Claude Anderson said something, and it really hit me in the chest. He said, black
people, we got to stop with this inappropriate behavior. And I was like, damn, inappropriate behavior. A lot of the shit that we're doing, our reactions, the way that we're moving, is completely inappropriate. And, I think that, to sum it up what you just said, it's we got to start looking at the people who moved appropriately. And those are the people that we got to hold up. Those are the people that we got to be like, yo, in terms of that piece. But in terms of our piece, we got to say, shit, we got to do the same thing. Because everything that we've listened to with the melanin, with, when you were speaking, the thing that popped in my head that, wanted to say was like, they had the fucking nerve to call us savages. Right? And the shit that they do is fucking savage. Straight up and down. No two ways about it. And so our reaction has to be, we have to have the appropriate reaction to people who are behaving savagely. And as you said, that pendulum, we could want to be about the lightness, we could want to be about those. Yes, there's a time for that, but yet there's a time for the darkness, and there's a time for, you guys have said it before about God, right? That destruction part, and the destroyer part. And so, just that, because the fact of the matter is, to be free, right, it comes with a great responsibility. And I think that's the shit we get held up on sometimes as our folks. It's like, it's a responsibility. And so that's going to take moving a certain way, and, I know Wealth talks about, when being on the other side, when he's been in combat zones, like you move a certain way because you know where the hell you're at. Right? The way you think, the way you walk, the way you interact, right? Is you just move in a certain way. And so we got to be moving that same way. And I think that's what that piece of it is, that sometimes it's like folks don't want to be on that time, but fuck, we got to be on that time 24/7 because we are in a war zone. And vans are driving around, scooping, grabbing folks up, right? They literally got the whole fucking playbook, and that was in 1902. So we're in 2021, right? The shit then been perfected of how to get that melanin. It's been perfected. Point blank period, right? Got this shit down to a science. And everything else that has been, the eugenics and all that stuff, it's been perfected. So we just got to realize, I think sometimes, that again, we talked about that party and bullshit because we want to chill. But the fact of the matter is, we got to be on guard. And that's just what it is, until we do something to make this thing different. And that's why we got each other and we got to move a certain way, so that we continue to help refill each other in those moments. Because, we got other young ones that we got to continue to help us be refilled to keep doing this work, So thank you for your time, y'all.
Yeah, thank you, K. Rain.
K. Rain. Hey, real quick, and I just want to share something with the room real quick. Like, I just want to give a quick anecdote, a quick little story, like, and just a hypothetical situation. Like, what if a group of people got an obscure vehicle, an obscure van, and pulled up in a suburban neighborhood and posted up and snatched up some white babies and, took them somewhere and found an encrypted way across some type of, some type of IP address that's untraceable, and just broadcast it to the world live. Watch this. And have our way. Everything. And matter of fact, we should bring they and whoever in the story should have some material, some documentation of the things that's happened to our people over the past centuries, and just break it down and just read it out loud while we do while everything happens. You know what I'm saying? Some sort of a manifesto. Like, imagine a story like that, you know, and this happens multiple times in different places over the course of maybe a couple weeks, because it wouldn't last that long before something figure out that something got to change, something got to happen. What the fuck? Like, imagine all these different things being just flipped, and I'm talking about, like, not the big, not the you know, all the systems that's in place. I'm talking about the actual action, the actual get up and go shit. Like, right now, like imagine that. Because we always talk about, we always talk in general terms. We always talking about, yo, it's never, hey, let's go do this. It's always, what needs to happen is people need to do something about this and that. Man, fuck that, man. And that's why I say Corey Gaines was a fucking real one, man. How many people you know that'll die for real with their hand on the fucking trigger, like, ha, you ain't coming in here, fuck you. And go out like that, like Cleo set it off. Like, I'm not, like, this ain't a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not an idea. Like, who's gonna take it to the real life shit? You know what I mean? And I just feel like if motherfuckers was moving on that type of time, and I don't feel like it'll take much before people, they just gonna start negotiating. Like, hold up, like, what the fuck needs to happen? Because unless you got somebody following you all day long, you can get up and go anywhere, any given time, and do any fucking thing. Because we do it all the time to our own people. All times of night, all times of day, it's all type of wild shit happening. You wake up tomorrow and a motherfucker whole, like Yarima said, a whole car be stripped. How the fuck a nigga just pop up in a neighborhood full of people and strip a whole car? The fuck? That's some get up and let's go do some old fucked up shit to somebody right now. All these quiet ass, all these neighborhoods are secluded off in the woods, up in the suburbs and shit like that. They not prepared for nothing. Them crackers green as fuck. Man, please, yo. Niggas ain't trying to do nothing for real.
Yeah, I want to do a thanks D for that. I want to do a quick room reset for the new people that came in. So you can kind of get a to know why there's righteous anger on the stage tonight. So the topic is the melanin extraction, most powerful on the planet. But how they extract melanin out of bodies, and how this extraction, this cracker from Australia named William John Young, how he gave a clear breakdown on how you can actually extract melanin from the body by basically soaking it in boiling hot water and using some other extracts like hydrochloric acid, and some other components to actually extract melanin from the skin. And then, of course, with that, there's also the body parts that are organs that are stolen out of black bodies every year. Then we also talked about the 75,000 plus black women that go missing every year, and nobody knows where they are. They just end up missing. The majority of children that go missing in the country are black children. But it's not reported. It's not talked about. And so we just kind of have been going from there. And yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I'm usually at not at a loss for words, but I have to be very careful because there at the end of the day, there's agents in the room. We just gonna say that there's agents in the room. There's always agents.
And again, what I was saying was completely hypothetical because we read stories about shit that happened in real life to us. You know what I'm saying? We're like, this shit that actually be happening. Like, this shit is happening in real time.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I wasn't. No, what you said was right and exact, D. I just call shit how it is. And, everybody in the room ain't right. And that's just the world we live in. From my standpoint, hypothetical, because when we look at it from a global scale, man, the people that be in our way from making shit happen, it'd be these quote unquote black fucking puppets that they put in leadership positions, whether it be in this country, whether it be in a Kebulon, whether it be in Brazil. They always got these puppeteers, and the puppet masters always pulling their strings, and these bitch made motherfuckers get in front of us and present themselves like they're our best friend, but will sell us out very quickly. And then they always put them in a position to do exactly that, to show where their allegiance is, and they show us. And motherfuckers still down here on ground level have the nerve to believe in them. And it's, yeah. Anyway, Akeem, what's good? Akeem, you there?
Peace, love, and light to everybody. How y'all doing?
Peace.
To follow up, I don't have much to add. Wealth pretty much took a lot of the words out of my mouth. He gave a great analogy about the beast and the parasite. However, I do want to read. You had made a post, I think it was on your Facebook page. I don't follow you on your Facebook, but you do share things to your Instagram. And the post was, and this is pertaining to the analogy that Wealth gave. It says, I am no longer giving people the benefit of the doubt, realizing that there is no benefit in doubt. YK. And don't let that fly over your guys' head. I'm pretty sure you guys won't. But like I said, Wealth, I know many of you, for those who just joined the room, Wealth had gave a fucking awesome analogy about white people and removing them being a parasite, and how to get rid of parasites is by removing them from the host and shit like that. But yeah, that's really all I have to add, because like I said, Conscious, K-Reem, Wealth, and that anecdote D-Hack gave really pretty much set the tone for me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, Akeem. I appreciate that. Please, Jody Jordan and Black Only 38, please clear that shit up, y'all. I fuck with both of y'all. Please. I'm not gonna get in it, but please try to clear that shit up, man. we got too much going on with these goddamn devils for people in my feed to be arguing, especially Black Only. I fuck with you for real, so just please clear that up. Jay Ali, what's good, God?
Peace, family. Forgive me for joining in late. I'm trying to get up to speed, but I think I'm here. And just to allude on what you just said, Urema, we have way too much of that particular energy that you're referring to. I've seen a lot of that the last couple days on this platform, even with some other groups that I'm in. And some of us have our own personal agendas that we are trying to accomplish, and it's getting in the way of the overall objective, which should be the liberation of our people. And we have a lot of agents, if you will, that are, they've been selling our people out since the beginning of time. Today is no different. I want to speak to what you were talking about earlier, Rima, just about the epidemic of the kidnapping and all of that. Just to speak about myself, my family, and my wife's in here listening in. You know, more of our families, we need to have these discussions at home. We need to turn off the television, and we really need to have, I don't know if everybody in this room has a get the fuck away bag packs, just in case some shit goes down, where you got some necessities that if you have to leave your home right now, not 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now. Yes. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, King. I said bug out bag.
Oh, yes, bug out bag. That. Not only that, though, we need to be more aware of our surroundings. Like when we enter public places, I don't care if it's a supermarket, Walmart, if it's a shopping plaza, if we're at an outdoor situation. We really need to really be aware of what's going on around us at all times. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know, depending on where you live at, there's a lot of agendas that's going on behind the scenes, and the news is all fabricated. It's all lies. If you're watching, I don't really think anybody in this room, everybody seems to be vibrating on a higher plane. We all know that the television is nothing but fabrication, but we need to understand that there's going to be a lot of false flags that are going to be going on. And we need to make sure that anytime we leave our home, that we have our head on the swivel. And if you have family, if you have children, you especially, I see it all the time. I see kids running around in supermarkets and in different places. Parents know where to be. Anybody can come snatch your kids up at any given time, especially if they're melanated. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that we need to baby these children, but everybody in the family got to be on. If your child can talk and you can communicate, you need to be having these discussions and these conversations. And if you do decide you want to have an opportunity to turn the television on or watch a movie or et cetera, that's not entertainment. There's no such thing as entertainment in my house. Everything is edutainment. Everything is a teachable moment. We discuss every scenario, everything we watch in depth, and we put ourselves in that particular situation. We think about the psychology, we think about what's going on, and we need to start behaving that way. You know what I'm saying? We got to take street smarts, and we got to take it to a whole nother level, because like a lot of people said, man, we at war, man. And sometimes the problem is when you're at war, you don't even know who your enemy is. Of course, we know who the main enemy is, but the problem is they're going to send people to get you off your off schedule. You know, that you might have people that just specifically there to distract you and irritate you and create confusions just to give you a couple minutes so you're not paying attention so you can get off the mission. So that's all I have for right now. I'm gonna continue to listen in, but I just wanted to add those points. I don't want to be redundant, but I think it's extremely important that everybody is we all need to be preppers at this point. Like, if the last year and some change hasn't really brought any indication that your whole world can turn upside down in a matter of at any given time, like, we all need to be prepared for any and everything. You know what I mean? Everybody in your family should be tactically trained. Everybody in your family. I mean, it's not just about eating healthy at this point. I mean, that's a necessity. That's not even. I mean, are we still talking about that? I mean, that should just be a gift. You know, I mean, the food. I mean, that's poison. I mean, all of this. If you're still buying things in the supermarket on the shelf, like, it's, you know, all of this stuff. We're at war. And so if you're at war and the enemy that you're fighting is bathing you, and clothing you, and feeding you, like, takes care of your water supply. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really start to think outside the box and really start preparing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We need to have a week plan, a month plan, year quarterly plan, yearly plan, 5 year. We need to really start, having a strategy, because for too long, and I'm gonna leave with this, too long, our people have been reactionary. We've been just reacting. It's like a boxer that is only throwing counter punches. And I'm telling you right now, from those people in this room who have boxing expertise or know about that, if you're always a counter puncher, there's always going to be that fighter that's going to have an upper hand on you. Because at some point, you're going to have to throw that first punch.
Wow. Jay Ali, thank you. I appreciate that. The prepping, as soon as you said that, I looked at my bug out bag right across the room from me. Absolutely. And the other thing is too, when we get serious about this, one of the reasons I created, the ancestors work in very mysterious ways sometimes, with what I've been able to create over the years. I remember when I started this, there was zero. When I first went live, the fucking thing said 0. Nobody was watching. And so, which it didn't stop me from doing what I do. And so now we're at this point where we're actually meeting. I am Mary. You wanted me to talk about the Tulsa event. That Tulsa event happens this month, July 22nd through the 25th, in home of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's for Unity Walk members and non-members. It's for anybody who's Black, Aboriginal, Indigenous, melanated, anywhere in the country. They can come. White people are not allowed. Hispanic people are not allowed. This is for us. If you come and you got a white husband or a white wife, they'll have to sit in the car. I don't know what to tell you. This is for us. And this is the space that we've created. So just to put that precursor out there, you should already know how I get down, though. So that shouldn't be news to anybody. But we're going to have that event. That's our national event. But even more so, we get together and we meet in other places. Because it's just that important. It's just that important for us to connect. And we're literally in wartime. People need to be strategizing with people in close proximity to them. What's going to be your strategy if some shit breaks off? Do you have a meetup place? The bug out bag, that we need all of that. But do you have a meetup place? How are you going to get to that place? Have you done the reconnaissance work to figure out different routes that you can take to get there? Do you recognize that the interstates are probably going to be packed? Because you're not going to be the only one with that idea. Because unfortunately, there's groups of white people that have been prepping for years. So they already got a plan together. They've been talking. But what are we doing? Fuck them. What are we doing? How are we building? I'm looking at the comments on IG and I'm thinking like, God damn, how it could be so much more productive if people were sharing information. And Jay Ali, you said it, like for the last 3 times that we've gone live, it's like there's been some kind of conflict. And I believe that part of it is due to the retrograde. But the other part is that we are quick to go at one another, instead of being quick to show compassion to one another. Compassion for the people who are supposed to be on the same page. Now, if there's some coonery going on, hey, we fucking shine that flashlight on coonery. But we are just quick to go at one another, man. And a lot of times we're doing the enemy's job for them. And it's sickening. It's sickening. It's sickening that we do the enemy's job for them, and I pull up a fucking video. I pull up a video with a room full of black Aboriginal people, with a black woman, black men with their phones out, with a black woman in the middle, twerking, with an old ass fucking 60, 70-year-old looking cracker behind her, grinding on her like he's hitting her doggy style. And everybody is cheering that shit on. But we getting fucking melanin and organs extracted from our bodies, probably by one of that cracker's relatives, if not that cracker himself. And you got to ask yourself, for the ones on IG, you got to ask yourself, what nerve of it on my page, what nerve you have when we're in such a serious subject, what nerve to be going back and forth with one another when we got such a greater enemy out here. Just like I said, what nerve these bitch ass niggas had to have their phones out. A room of bitch niggas. Because they was bitches. Make no mistake about it. They was bitch niggas. Supposed to be protecting black women. But they allowing a black woman to twerk with a white boy, 67-year-old white man behind her. The nerve. But them same niggas, if they get it, I won't lose a night of sleep over it. Wouldn't lose a night of sleep over it. Fuck them all. Anyone else got anything?
I just want to emphasize again that the whole thing, that the brother Jay Ali said about, being reactionary and things like that, man. Like at some point, you gotta take it from, being prepared for what's gonna happen to us to being the one that happens to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't hell yeah, we gotta be prepared. I'm not trying to knock that at all on every level. To the fullest, man. I actually watch Doomsday Preppers just to get more ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because these crackers, they prepared. They're prepared. They got bunkers fucking 100 feet underground that look like paradise. You know what I'm saying? Where they got enough food to last a couple 100 years type shit. Like, they're not playing, man. This one dude got a bunker that's I guess the adult members of his immediate family can come. And he said, other than that, he got a bunch of bunker space for like a couple hundred people that are under a certain age, like under 18 or under 16 or something like that. Just so that they can, plant the next generation. You know what I mean? And please believe, they're going to let some of us in there because they're going to need that melanin. They're going to let some niggas in there. You know what I'm saying? But not us. You know? So we do need to be prepared, but at the same time, man, I feel like we gotta, fuck around and fuck around. But yeah, man, hell yeah, man. I appreciate everybody's input though. This is some